All right, this is season 1, episode 9 of the Positive Vibe Enthusiast. And tonight we have a very special panel coming to you straight from where I grew up, y'all, Linwood, Illinois. We have Tracy on the line. How are you doing tonight, Tracy?
I'm doing blessed and highly favored.
Oh, very, very nice. Very, very nice on this Sunday. And we have Dominique, or Damo, coming to you straight out of, where are you? Hobart, Indiana tonight. How are you, Dominique?
I'm doing good.
That's very well. And we also have out of Chicago tonight, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm seeing the 95th red line passing through the Lakey View, and it is a nice night, but it's cold outside. You know, I hope everyone's warm where you guys are.
Well, it's definitely warm here in H-Town.
Oh,
Don't mean to rub it in.
What's the temp?
The temperature right now, I believe it is, let me get it right now. It is 70 degrees.
Did y'all see how she turned on her TV, talk a little bit? She got a little bit. Oh, the temperature's right now.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
This is just it. Well, tonight we're going to have Damo kick it off because she has a question that she would like to ask everyone's point of view on, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I will let her take it from here.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was on LinkedIn earlier this morning and someone posted an article in regards to a celebrity adopting a Black child. So and it was very controversial. So my question for you all, can a white family raise a Black child and vice versa? Can a Black family raise a white child?
I say, yeah. You're going to still certain different values because we all kind of, grow and take journeys differently, but I believe it can be done. Is it there a right or wrong way? I think that's where more of the question is it better or is it worse? You know what I mean? I think it's kind of like when you have those parent trap moments where you send twins off, but the twins, they're taught by the dad or they're taught by the mom. They learn different values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think when a white family is raising a Black child, I do believe that, and this goes for a Black family too, raising a white child. I do believe that they do need some type of kind of history lesson, cultural lesson, diversity lesson in regards to just the background, how to do their hair, because what? I'm dead serious because come on, I mean, I'm just gonna speak off of my hair, my hair is very coarse. It's very coarse, and it takes quite a bit of loving to maintain these naps, So, I believe that a white family raising a Black child, I mean, the parents would definitely need to get a Black beautician, a stylist, in order to do that child's hair. What do you guys think?
Well, Damo, I think we need to break down the word naps for some of our viewers. I don't think they might need that culture class now. I'm a mess.
So, let me see if I can paint a picture. So, have you ever, speaking to the audience, when you see a Black woman, right? Natural hairstyle. When I say natural, it's typically curly, not bone straight. If it's bone straight, they can either have flat iron their hair, or they could either relax their hair, right? So this is more of an educational lesson, I guess, about hair, but I'm getting way too deep. But when you see a Black woman's hair in a ponytail, right, and you kind of see the little curly cues on the back of their neck.
That was nice to put it. I would have used the term taco meat, BDB.
The back of their neck, right? You see those little curly cues on the back of their neck, right? Now imagine yourself taking a comb and trying to comb that out, right?
Ooh.
But
Now
you got to
imagine,
specify the type of comb though.
okay,
Small, like a rat tail.
a rat tail comb. So a rat tail comb. You guys all know what a
Now,
rat
what
tail
is a
comb
rat
is,
tail
right?
comb?
They
Not
know
for the
what a rat
bumping.
tail is.
Not for the bumping. Oh Lord.
And you're trying to comb that, just that one little curly cube.
Mm.
That's a nap. Now imagine that your whole head like that.
Ooh, Lord.
Now that's nap. So
That's
that's
Yeah.
why us Black women, we used to, well, some of us still do relax our hair. I relax my edges because they be nappy. Like they don't
That's
want to
them
lay.
edges.
They do
Keep
not
the
want to
edges
lay
straight.
right. So I have to relax. So can a white family educate a Black child on relaxers?
I think it
Or
just
I think so.
oh yeah, I think so. It depends on what kind of white person you have, because I mean,
Mhm.
we all know white folks that's, and I hate to use a stereotype, but especially from the heights, that's a different breed. They wearing
Yeah.
cornrows,
Different.
and we both grabbing blue magic in the
Blue
same aisle.
magic.
Like,
Oh Lord.
and y'all didn't see these people I'm referring to
Not
on
the blue
TikTok.
magic.
They laying hair.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
these white folks, they've been taught. So I think that it depends on what we're talking about. Like if you're dealing with, the most Manila ever, and the only Black folks they didn't seen is, who they didn't interacted with when they finally went to college, or maybe at the gas station, or but they didn't see it on TV, and now they want to go out and adopt a whole Black child. I think it's nice because, every child needs a home. However,
Yep.
you do need to be mindful that that child is Black. You're going to have to, especially if it's a little boy, and in this climate, you're going to have to really talk to them about being careful with the police, because everyone's may not be as open-minded and open-hearted as you are. You have to, and remind the child of the history of Black people in this country. As long as you're being responsible in that way, I think it'll work. And I think that a Black family can absolutely raise a white kid, because hell, we've been doing that since we was stolen and brought over here. So, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
What about you, Tracy?
I mean, she just took all the words out of my mouth. Um, so I don't even know how to even respond to that. But no, I do feel like it can be done. I just also feel like too that, it's a good way for either race to see what other races live like. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we are who we are. That's never gonna leave us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna always, if it was me in a sense, I'm gonna always be Black. So I'm gonna always relate to that in some way, some form or fashion. So as long as they know their history, I think at the end of the day it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think open
Yeah.
adoption would be even better, honestly. If you could have a situation like that, that'd be even better. Like if you adopting the kid and you still have access to the mother or father's family, or if for some reason they, like that'd be a better situation, I would think.
I definitely think it can be done though. I don't see the harm in it, because at the end of the day, it's not that child's fault, why they're in the predicament that they in. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And you can't rob them of a life, a childhood, growing up. You know what I'm saying? Any experience. It's not fair to rob them of that because of what happened prior to them that was out of their hands. So I mean, it's a blessing that people are out here and willing to adopt, considering of what they may have going on in their life. But I think it can be done. Any
Yeah.
race.
I for sure think it can be done. As long as you're willing to continue to educate yourself and you're willing to not judge, no past any judgment, I for sure think it can be done.
And,
Yeah.
and I truly do believe that, for those folks that are of a different race trying to or open to that possibility, I think we have to give them some credit to believe that, guess what, they're for the challenge. It's probably not easy to
Easy, right?
go ahead and do this. And, they're going by love and not by what they see. And that's
Right.
what, we want from people. So when we kind of, Because we all know the person that, or not person, but people that we know that ultimately, they're of a certain race, but they act a different race. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. Somebody didn't teach you, Becky. You're not Becky. You're Bernice. You get what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so yeah, it's a tough one for
Yeah,
us
sometimes it's an act to me, but sometimes that's truly how that person was raised. And that's truly their
raised.
personality. So,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
especially though Christy Lowe's best, that man, he has the
Hmm.
soul of a
Oh
Southern black
yeah.
grandma.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So, but why does it have well, I can't even say some cases. Why does it have to be an act? Why can't it just be them
Them.
adapting to their
Hmm.
environment?
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It could be. I don't know. But sometimes I think it's an act if you flip flopping. You know, like for me, like I have a serious problem if you're talking one way and then you get around another place and then you're not talking like that. Because then to me that's like, well, what's up? You know, I can
Well,
understand switching on professional and not being professional. Like I totally understand that
Okay,
one.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I'm
okay.
talking about. But I legit been seeing some Oscar winning performances.
oh, yeah, we have.
So
Yes, we all
it's
have.
like, yo,
But I
what
think if
happened?
I think if we break it down, like not race, we're talking about that. But if you break it down from being poor to rich, we do act different when you poor, when you got the money, and when you don't have the money. You make different
Yeah.
choices.
Choices,
So
yeah.
you make different choices. Like right now, I'm well off. This is the most well off I've ever been. I told y'all about my little first class experience, and I didn't know that. Guess what? The cup was running over, and I could have kept with the details coming. But guess what? I was like, hold on, I'm not used to this. And so I had to adjust. And now I'm like, man, I missed out on the opportunity, but next time I won't. So, I think it is that environment that starts it. But yeah, I hope that people are educating themselves and before they make that tough decision.
I guess I have a kind of a piggyback question. For like I've done it in the past, but currently I'm not dating anyone. But how is it, Dominique, you're in an interracial marriage, and for people who do date, I know Tony, you date, not exclusively to your race. Like, how is it dating interracially during this climate of 2020? Because it's like 1960 all over again in some aspects. So, like, how is that?
Um, it's been very interesting to say the least, because we are definitely different, and we have different views on different things that are going on within society. However, conversations, it has given us opportunity to really get to know each other,
Mm-hmm.
and really see where my husband and I do connect and where we don't connect and what we need to work on. So
Okay.
it definitely has opened my eyes to a lot in just the world in general, what's going on in the news, what's not even going on in the news, what's going on just here in Northwest Indiana in my workplace, having those open conversations, open-ended conversations. And it's something that just continues on, just not in my relationship, but with work relationships, like it's just a continuous conversation. And it really allows you to get to know the people that you surround yourself with. So, yep. Anybody else interracially dating currently?
Well, not really dating. Taking applications.
Taking applications.
Single as a doorknob.
Taking applications because you got to do the health screening now. You got to take the temperature. You got to make sure you don't have any symptoms. So it is a challenge because sometimes like I was telling y'all about earlier about the Pillsbury Doughboy laugher, and it's like I like him, but his upbringing, he just it's like, oh my God, he it's starting to bother me. I'm like, and I don't know you 3 weeks. So I'm like, I don't know if I can keep doing this, but I'm like, okay, Tony, you get a little older now. You can't be all like you too picky now because you get older. So you got to start, selling some roots and, trying a few things out instead of just going around the merry-go-round once. Yeah, stay on the same rag, trying to do that little thing. But it is tough because you do, as I get older, I am learning more about myself, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't see race until like something like that happens. It's just like normal for
Mm-hmm.
me. It's normalcy,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been doing it for so long. And yeah, I would be interested for me personally just to see how I interact with somebody else that is maybe the same race, because it's like we have the same go throughs. I guess maybe I'm the one that's like, oh, you don't go through what I go through when I go outside. You might be gay, but you're white, and I'm gay and black. So I'm so sorry. You can't tell
Mm-hmm.
me nothing.
And now you don't have
Mm-hmm.
that argument no more. You got somebody who look
Exactly.
like
Like,
you. It's like, oh
oh,
Mm-hmm.
shit.
what we gonna argue about? Who cooking the greens, and then who's gonna fry the chicken? I guess.
Well, it's been interesting for me. Like for me, I'm actually grateful that I'm not with anyone white during this climate, to be quite honest, because I don't, especially if it was someone like that really honestly didn't grow up in as diverse of a background as I did, because I don't think it just would work, especially if like they were Fox News watchers and things like that. I know it wouldn't work for me because I am I just realized about myself is that I really don't have any tolerance for anyone who's not even trying to see the other side. Like I'm right. I'm apolitical and I'm an independent thinker. And independent, I don't identify as a Republican or a Democrat. And actually, I'm on the edge of just saying, "F the government." Just focus on myself. But I just kind of feel like I listen to even both sides, like just so adamant about, no, it's absolutely not true that you know police officers are killing black men or black people in general for no reason. Like there's legit people who think that when a police officer stops and talks to you, no matter what, you need to answer questions and abide by whatever that they're saying. And they don't understand that you can do all that and still end up with a bullet in your ass. So how do you explain that one? So and it's I can't even talk to or even have the energy to even try to convince anybody, because the bottom line is perception is everything and everybody's entitled to their opinions. But I think it's just easier to be with somebody of color who, for me, that could understand my struggles or my point of view, because I've been around a lot of shit and I've seen a lot of stuff where I know for a fact that black men do have it hard with these police officers. And I know that I've gotten some breaks because I was female and wasn't male when it comes to police officers. And I've heard stories from my white friends, underage drinking and running through bars, and the cops just driving them home. No charges, never even on paper. So it is a little bit of privilege on some sense, like they get a little lucky and they realize it now looking back, like, oh shit, well, if I was black, yeah, that wouldn't have been my same storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I might be
Mm-hmm.
I might still be fighting that case and not be able to be where I am. And for anybody who just does not acknowledge that the double standards, like how two people can do the same crime and end up with two different punishments. And if you think that's okay, like I can't rock with you on that. And actually, to be honest with you, it ain't just white people; it's black people too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
It's blacks for Trumps out there. Like they out here. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting. And I just kind of feel like we need to, especially like the people. I always bring up the West Virginians because what Mountain Dew did to them. But I digress. I bring up them because it's like they use that as the example of like that's Trump's base, and they want to call them stupid and all that kind of stuff. But also, I kind of feel like they're a protective class because it don't matter who the president is, they still get shitted on. Like no one's sending resources out there. What y'all doing? Popping bad food into that neighborhood, and more drugs. So I just kind of feel like the bigger issue is let's put some resources in these poor, not as educated areas, and because then maybe we won't have this problem of the hate. It was just so much hate this year. Just
Yeah,
very interesting
it's
to
really
me.
hate. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot. Yeah, it takes it back to the Bible. It said men will be lover of themselves, and my grandmother used to say, "Yeah, we in our last days." Now my mama saying we in our last days. So yeah, I know it's the same, but it's just certain things that they bring up in the Bible that's saying, men will be loving themselves, and that goes to that hate where they're not thinking about their neighbor, or as do it to others as you would want them to do it to you.
Yeah,
It ain't
like
not
even
that
like
anymore.
putting on the mask.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, this is crazy. So we are that selfish or that ridiculous that we're not gonna wear a mask just to protect other people. Like, damn, like that's just now that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, trust me.
this
Somebody
is
say it's
nuts.
my right, and I was watching some show, Superstore, and they was reenacting the, right when COVID was happening. We was like, put on a mask, don't put on a mask, wear gloves, don't wear gloves. Before we had the stay-at-home situation, and
Yeah.
it was like some of these people that they were making fun of it, but it's just like, yeah, they're still out there, and I wish that they would just respect other people's right to be able to be out in public as well. But just like as someone would want to respect their right to not wear one, because the mask, for the most part, what they say, it does reduce our risk. But some people was wearing masks and they still got it. So I'm thank the Lord I haven't got it yet.
Don't
But
say
that's
yet.
what it boils
You
down
got
to,
it.
that no one respects anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Period.
Nope.
Does it black, white, green, orange, yellow? Nobody respects nobody.
I think they watch Nino Brown.
I mean, this is the way I like. My belief is like we're all connected, and I try to treat everybody with the same respect. I really try to, and I just know for me, I am not going to waste energy on anybody, left or right. Like my mom, she hates that 45, like can't stand him, and I just don't have enough energy to hate the man. I actually feel
Yeah.
kind of sorry for him
Yeah,
because
I
he
did
clearly
feel
has a
so.
mental
Yeah.
Well,
illness
because
that's never been diagnosed,
and
and we're
so many
all
people
reaping the
hate him.
repercussion.
And so many people hate him right
And
now.
that gives them more power too.
I'm like, oh look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
does.
does.
You know what would really hurt Trump is if everybody just ignored the fuck out of him.
Yes, it
Yep.
is.
That was, and if you, like I said, like I said it last week, I'll say it again. Like if you really want to have reform, like you don't want police officers shooting people and all this other stuff, and you don't like how, we're being treated with equal pay and all that shit. The way you solve all of this shit is sit the fuck down. Shame on you, officers who are, especially the ones of color. I'm sorry, there's no way I could be a police officer right now. I would have to sit the fuck down and find something else to do. If I'm so against this, if not, you're part of the problem. Sit down. We got to sacrifice a little bit, that's just the way I feel about it. But I digress. But yeah, I guess I do think things are going to change in 2021. I think that we lived through the dark days. Now we're going to have to rebuild and better say build back better, as he was saying. We're definitely going to have to do that. But I am excited to see that we do have an old man as president, because I think that speaks volumes to all the age discrimination that goes on in this country. Because I was very shocked, like I said, when I was interviewing for 32 Realty for Houston, and the woman felt the need to use such an older picture of herself. And then I learned eye-opening Siobhan telling me that, people do this because, it's age discrimination with jobs. And I think that is bullshit, because just because you're older doesn't mean that you're not going to be as good in a job. Because I don't know about y'all, but when I was working in my early 20s, oh, you want to go out on Friday? I got to work. I'm not coming in, you don't have the same work ethic.
Oh, trust me.
At least I
I
did.
think
yes.
I actually, well, I don't want to say that on the air, but I think when you're interviewing for a position, like when someone is interviewing for a position, they may be older. Me being a manager, I don't really care about the age, that really doesn't matter to me. But what I do look at is their resume, and I want to look at their longevity at their last employer. And when I see that you're older and you have several jobs, that is a concern for me.
Ooh, well, I got
so
yeah, it is.
And I think that may
jump
be
in
a
on
concern
that
when people see older men or older women applying for jobs. They probably are asking themselves questions like, hey, are you just going to be a temporary, fix, or are you going to be here long term, or, what's going to happen? That may be some thoughts that they have when they first, I'm just thinking, like, as me being a manager, those are some, before even seeing their resume, just thinking those things. Or if you see someone young that's like 18, 19, and like, oh, just like what you just said, oh, he's probably going to be a partier. Like, you know, is this person going to be here long term? They're going to stay with this company for a while. You know, are they looking for growth? Like, what do they want? Like, these things that go through your mind. Like, if you have a picture, you know, but a lot of people don't add pictures to their resumes. But although I did have one that added a picture to his resume, but so those are the type of things that go through your mind, and then you kind of look at their resume and you're like, oh, well, you've had like 10 jobs in like 2 years. Okay, so
Lord.
I won't.
Did you hire him with the picture?
I won't call you in for an interview, huh?
Yeah.
Did you hire the one with the picture?
have some.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Oh, Siobhan's here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan.
I have a few connection issues. Hey, y'all. Hey. Birthday turn up continues. Happy birthday. But in all seriousness, I did have some commentary on that with the people who appear to be job hoppers on paper. Depending on the industry and depending on the term of which they were working in said industry, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. And I used to be concerned with that as well, because I graduated during the downturn of the economy. So I had several layoffs after college, and I was where it's like, oh my God, I'm going to look like I'm a loser and people are never going to hire me. But in reality, it was like, you know, just taking into the scope of what was happening in the economy is a consideration. But also currently, this has been published in multiple money magazines and Forbes, and multiple places have discussed this. But the fact that if you have a particular skill set and you stay with the company for 5, 10 plus years, you've probably cheated yourself out of additional income. Because the company that you're with currently is probably undervaluing you or devaluing you for the work that you are doing and giving you an incremental raise, if any, or offering you promotions, if any, at a much lower rate than you would have received if you just said, you know what, I'm going to leave and go somewhere else. So being part of the generation who graduated 2008, you know, this is where, you know, we had that economic slump. A lot of us are now not recognizing or saying that, you know what, these companies are the way to go. When we were younger, we heard from our parents, you know, get a good job with stability in a good industry that you can grow in and retire in. Upward mobility is not a thing for our generation anymore. There's multiple ways to become a millionaire. You don't have to have graduated from college to be a millionaire anymore. And recognizing that even as, you know, a college grad and being someone in a specific industry, the way to move up is to job hop now. So I think that the scope of looking at jobs and seeing how quickly you are turning over in the industry has changed considerably, because now you might just be moving for the dollar. You might be recognizing your value and saying, hey, I have experience in this, or I'm better than these people, and I know I'm better than these people, and I know my worth. So I'm not going to fuck around with this company that's paying me $50K when I can make 70, 80, 90K somewhere else. So
yeah,
moving
Siobhan, Siobhan definitely that's my storyline. Like every move I ever made was for the dollar.
Exactly, and that's mine too.
And I agree with that fully. But being an interviewer, interviewing someone, that's scary though. That is scary. Having someone that's coming in and only going to stay for maybe 3 to 6 months and then decide to move to another job. That's scary, and that's how you have high turnover rates.
But
so then
we're gonna have high turnover rates regardless of what it is that they do. It doesn't matter the background, doesn't matter how many years tenure they had previously anywhere else. Depending on your industry, you're gonna experience high turnover. Sales, for instance, has very high turnover because people are always moving on. Sales is a general skill set. If you got the ability to sell whatever, it doesn't matter. You'll sell water to a well. In the words of Jay-Z, I sell ice in the winter, I sell fire in hell, I sell water to a well. Like, it does not matter. You'll move it. So if there's a better opportunity, you will go. But depending on what it is, if there's a better opportunity to be had, yeah, you can lose people very easily.
I think that if employers gave people that's interviewing a better window to work with money, turnover would be a lot slower.
Oh,
So
yeah, for sure.
I raised up to general manager, and although I wasn't doing the interviewing process, however, I did realize that with helping people negotiate salary, negotiate myself, because I was able to negotiate $15,000 for myself within less than 2 years. So, and I was able to do that because I just understood that exactly what Siobhan said. Like I roll the dice. Like I know I know I'm good at. I'm better than these motherfuckers. Pay me, or I'm walking type situation, So it worked out for me. However, I think that being in a position like where I do have to interview and I do have to make those decisions. I'm just looking at, and then it's a little different for me too, because it is 1099, you know what I mean? So like everyone who works with me, no one works for me. That's another thing too. I don't like that you work for me type shit. We all work together. So that's another thing that helps me. And also like the people who work with me, their earning potential is unlimited. It's whatever you want to do, So that's a little easier. But I think that for your position, I do understand what you're saying, because you're dealing with a certain budget, you have to stay in these lines, and there's all these, what do you call it? Like, oh, if this person may have 10 years of experience, but they don't have a bachelor, I have to put them in this category. It's all these different things, that put you on a restraint. You have restraints on the salary. So I do get why you have to look and make sure that you are picking the right person with their, I guess, longevity. I get it. I do understand that.
And if you interviewing somebody, right? I'm interviewing somebody. My thing is, I want you to grow within this company. I don't want to lose you. I want you to grow. I want you to get promoted. I want you to continue to moving up, if that's something that you want. But I want to be able to see that and feel that. And you don't feel it all the time in an interview, but sometimes I have. I have 3 people who have been with me since I've interviewed them from the beginning, and they want growth. So I'm right behind them 100%. Like, I want you to grow within this company, and if not within this company, grow somewhere else. But I want you to learn as much as you can from this company and then move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I guess, what?
I
think we got to take ourselves out of it too, though.
People.
Yeah. Like for me, I'm trying to take I'm on my own like spiritual journey. So I'm trying to take myself out of it, because I don't want to put my will on somebody else either. I'm just going to assume that you're here to do a good job and to grow, but I don't want to push my will onto you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's where I'm at with it. So that's why, to me, I'm looking at your resume, but I'm looking at you like it's all bullshit. We all know that you had embellished a little bit on this shit. Let's talk real talk. Like that's just where I'm at with it.
So I had talked to a friend, and she actually had, and I've never done this. I've never really heard of it, but I kind of researched it a little bit because I was like really intrigued by the group interviewing. Have you guys ever done that, group interviewing?
Yeah, I've been in a group interviewing. Oh yeah, I've had that.
I can laugh at that. The
I would
group
be
interviewing,
a little nervous about that.
I've only ever seen right when I first graduated college, and more often than not, it was a bullshit interview. The company was probably some MLM type stuff, or I remember. You remember? I don't know if any of you had ever seen, but when I was living in Michigan, these people were like, "Oh, we market for multiple companies and Fortune 500 companies," and I'd apply because I was fresh out of college and I had a business marketing degree, and I apply, and then they do a group interview, and it's a whole room full of people, like it's a convention or something.
Yeah, I've been there.
This interview was straight bullshit, and I'm like, I hope the emphasis on bullshit came through just now when I said it, because it was like, yeah, you gotta work hard, and we play hard, and must like jokes and all this other stuff. It was like, you know, people who were fucking off, willing to just be like, willing to take whatever job and jump in, and like high income potential, but they never tell you how much you're gonna make. Everything's incredibly vague. They don't give you any actual details about what you're going to be doing, what you're going to sell, and then they're like, "Oh, we really liked you. Come back for a second interview." I'm like, "Nah, that first interview was jank in the first place. No, thank you."
Yeah, I've been there. I've had those. I've had panel interviews where what the most strenuous interviewing process was becoming a flight attendant. And I got hired on the spot because when I saw how long it was, like, oh shit, we gotta do all this. And the lady who interviewed me, I got made it to the last round. She's like, usually we'll wait before we give the answer, but we like you so much, and she hired me on the spot, but told me not to tell nobody on the way out. But the first round was like group. The second round was like a panel. Then the last one was one-on-one with that whatever that Regis director was and all that. And I had just made a decision like, this shit is so rigorous. Somebody give me a damn job today. That just was my mindset. And I couldn't even swim, y'all. I had to teach myself how to swim. So it was a lot that happened. But I finagled my way through that too. I didn't have so many jobs.
Tashi. I can see it.
Huh?
I can see you as a flight attendant.
I mean, it was cool, but I was not happy though. Like that wasn't a job for me. I mean, it was cool that I got to travel and meet people, but my favorite job, honestly, was property management, seeing people, especially in the HUD, but it just was no money in it. That's the only thing. Like my favorite two jobs: unloading trailers for Walmart. Had a blast doing that. Love that job, and being on their remodel team, and it was really fun. Being property management in the federal housing, that type of situation, the trap. That was fun. I was in the trap for real, yeah.
Bees in the trap. Bees in the trap.
I like that. Like I really, because I felt like I was really helping people change lives and stuff because, I didn't grow up rich, and I know about food stamps. I know about all that, my mom leveled up and got out of her situation, but I've been there, I was a free lunch recipient for a while. Like I remember that. So I always felt like I could relate to these people and let them know, like, this is just a temporary stop. Like, this ain't got to be your life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And don't let nobody tell you that because it's a lie. Mm-hmm. So that's what I really enjoyed about that job. But at the end of the day, I also got to listen to my own advice. I can't stay here either, y'all. I got to get this money. So I have to keep it moving. That's why I ended up in Houston. But yeah, it sucks you have to judge people on that, but I get why. But I'm with Siobhan, just because people job hopping. It could be for chasing that dollar, man. We all trying to live this American dream.
Right. And I'm all for it. I tell people all the time, like, corporations do what's best for them. So always do what's best for you. You have a family, you have your personal goals, you have your own financial dreams and things that you're trying to get to. Always do what is in the best interest for you. Fuck these corporations. Because
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but me being I'm the one that's going to be screwed because I'm the one that's got to take over that load when they decide to leave. So I get what you're saying. Yes, if you're not feeling the company that you're currently working for, leave. Move on. But do it in a professional manner. Give notice, give proper notice, so then we can replace you if need so. And the only reason I'm speaking on this is because I've seen turnover, and I've seen it because of this reason why. But we tell you in the beginning, like, this is what you're making. This is a job. These are the requirements. I literally will demonstrate to you exactly what you're going to be doing. Like, I'm very honest. I'm very blunt in an interview. I do not hold anything back because I want you to know what you're getting yourself into, like what type of job this is. And I feel like during interviewing once or twice, sometimes it just isn't enough for some applicants. Like, they physically need to go on a ride along to see exactly what you're doing. And working at a non-for-profit, I don't know if you guys are familiar with non-for-profit case management, working with cases, have open cases, working with clients who have open cases with juvenile probation or Department of Child Service. So, and just trying to get them, stable, provide stability, try to help them become financially stable in their life. So there are a lot of obstacles to a lot of these cases. And I feel like when you job hop, it kind of destroys the morale for the company, the department, I should say, the department itself, the program itself.
But that's why exit interviews are important, though. Like, but exit interviews.
I feel like interviews are important. Yes.
That's very important. Like, to really do that. So now what can we do different to get these people to stay?
Yes, they are.
I'll agree with you, Dominique. So I'm coming from the side of somebody who's always like, I'm always for me. I'm always gonna do what's best for me. but I've been in your position also as a manager who like, okay, well, you know what? This is like a group project. And if you don't do your part of the project, how much of this is going to fall back on me if I don't have the right people on my team? So I 100% understand, and I get your frustration in wanting to make the right choices. However, also recognizing in the non-for-profit game, man, that is hard.
It is hard.
Tough to be trying to, I mean, so my mom was a nurse for years, and she went back to school to become, or to get a degree in social work. Mm-hmm. And she became a director for a non-for-profit. And when I tell you, I was never more furious in my life when she told me that she was doing that. It's much lower paid than what she was making. Mm-hmm. And she was being threatened by the people whom she was trying to help. Mm-hmm. Wow. And it was an ongoing just roller coaster of emotions, and you know, dealing with a non-for-profit who was run by a daughter whose her father had founded it, and she had no clue, but it was just kind of family business, and she was just she didn't know what to do anything. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I understand how difficult that can be, and in being in a position where you absolutely need to have the right kind of people, you need to have the right kind of temperament to handle that type of environment and the type of cases that you're working with day to day, and how volatile the situation is. Because if anybody at any time decides, fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore, it's not for me, then yeah, everything falls back on you. So I commend you for, number one, stepping into the type of work that you are doing. And number two, I understand both sides. I get you saying, you know what, you need people who have tenure and who are experienced and who want to be committed to this. But I also understand the people who are like, you know what, you don't pay me enough, and getting the F out of there.
Mm-hmm. It's a labor of love. You know?
Yeah, it's absolutely a labor of love, and it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly taxing. And I mean, I can imagine, like, you're dealing with, I don't know necessarily the nature of your non-for-profit, but my mother, as an example, she was dealing with people who were coming from low-income housing, people who were homeless, people who were Section 8 recipients, some people who were homeless, people who were drug addicts. It was you got a potpourri of all the most messed up cases of society coming to you at once, needing help.
Yeah.
And for profit.
I service clients who have a court order services. So they have an open case with the Department of Child Service or juvenile probation. And I have 170 clients, and 165 of them are all men. So I work with the male population, those who have been incarcerated. I have clients who are in jail. I have clients who are on probation. I have clients who have DV situations, open cases, DV cases. I have clients who are struggling with substance abuse. So I'm dealing with a lot of mental health issues. So I do need someone like, and that's why my interviews, they can be very long, and I can ask a lot of questions. So I don't know. I mean, working in the non-for-profit industry, it's tough, period. And I'm okay with you leaving. I'm okay with you, leaving, but do it the right way. Put in your 2 weeks and let us know why you're leaving so we can try to make it better. I'm not okay with those leaving and not saying anything, leaving their equipment on the desk and just leave and not say nothing. Because how are we going to make it better for the next person without you telling us the reason why you left? You know what I'm saying?
I understand that completely too. And I think that's incredibly unprofessional. Just be like, you know what? I quit. Like, I don't have time for this. Y'all don't pay me enough, and just drop everything. And I'm not coming back. But at the same time, the thing that we forget is that people in these industries also have their personal mental health. They have their personal emotional health. They have their personal protection and safety to consider. So the day that they're like, fuck this, I'm out, I still have a soft spot for that and say, I get that too. So that's why I'm like, this is a very compromising situation. Like, to be like, I understand completely where you come from because my mom was in your position. But I also consider the people who are under you and being like, you know what, this just isn't worth it to me. I'm out. I don't even have a job to go to from here, but I just don't feel it. I'm getting out of here. So I understand also because there were multiple conversations that I had with my mother about situations that she had experienced with clientele that she was trying to help. Who, like, there were times when people had threatened that, like, I'm coming back up here with a gun and you're going to be sorry. You know, and me being like, Ma, did you bring your gun to work? Or, Ma, you need to quit today. Me saying that to her. So
yeah, I legit had a pistol on me when I had to go because I used to have to do home inspections.
Or, you know what, this is too scary for me. Or, you know what, this hit too close to home today. Because, and that's something I recognize also, a lot of people who get involved with social work, it's a very personal thing for them. And that's something to consider as well.
Yeah.
So if you got involved for personal reasons and you come across a case that is entirely too personal, maybe it hit too close to home, I get you picking up and being like, I couldn't explain this, which is, it's something, as an adult, I recognize how important it is for me to be able to articulate my feelings and what I'm going through, because if I can't express what it is I'm feeling, there's no solution. If I don't even understand how I'm feeling, there's no way to fix it.
Right?
Some adults just don't know how to walk through that to be able to articulate, hey, Damo, this job is just too tough for me. Or, you know what, my dad molested me and this guy's telling me that this dad molested him and that's why he's doing the things he does and I can't deal with this. Or this person is telling me that they were abused by this parent or they were abused in prison or they got stolen from as a child or whatever the situation may be. It might be hitting too close to home and they don't know how to verbalize it to you to say, hey, this is too hard for me. I got to get out of here. So,
yeah, I think
incredibly difficult situation, but I understand both sides.
Yeah, these jobs, this especially 2020 has really exposed like how to stress the fuck out Americans are, and how we all really need to have somebody to talk to. Period. Like, because it is not healthy to every day. Like, I don't think it's healthy for that's prison guards. You know, POs. Is that what you call them? POs? That's inside.
Correctional officers.
Correct. COs. That's what it is. My bad. Because you in prison too, you know, like, you're in prison too. So like that emotional, like you throwing somebody in a hole for a month or two, and only letting them come out, you know, for 24 hours, like that's inhumane. Like, and you're enforcing these inhumane rules, like that has to weigh heavy on you when you get home. Like, and then with the firefighters, like, I know why they drink. I didn't even think, like, they're the first responders. So if I'm like the asshole that wrapped myself around the tree because I was drinking too much and now my guts is all sprayed out. Now the firefighter got to come get with the jaws of life and get me out. Now they didn't see my body all busted open. Now they got PTSD.
Right.
You know, like I didn't start thinking about this until mainly last year, like being more mindful. And like I said, I had my own issue this year. Like, it was crazy. Like, I didn't even realize that my anxiety was so high. Like, I think it just hit a head and I lost 72 hours of my life. Like, what the hell? You know? So, yeah, like, I think that this brings up bigger issues with people leaving jobs unprofessionally because everyone's stressed the fuck out. I don't think we're supposed to be working as much, and these workloads is crazy. That's what I think.
I agree. The only way things are going to change is, I mean, we have to be able to be vocal, you know, like.
I think that we need to start creating more. I think, like, if someone like you who's in the industry, at some point you should go out on your own because you do have the passion to help the people, and you also know what it's like to be in all levels of position, you know, starting from the bottom to the top. And I think that people like you should go out on their own and create environments where they could make it better because they've been in that position. Like, I think that, like, for me, like, I'm trying to do my part in the real estate industry because I know how it is. You invested in yourself, you pay for school, and now you're out on your own and you're going to be under a broker. I'm not going to be a broker that's going to try to take all your money just because now I'm a broker. You know, like, that's not my storyline. So now I'm trying to make it different, like, make it right. Like, okay, you pay for school, you invest in yourself, you're going to get that 90-10 split right off the bat because you deserve it, you know? So if I think we get more people in the industries, like period, and go out on their own and make it right for people.
Well, I think too, a big part of it is just being able to engage in dialogue consistently.
Yes.
Because if you don't feel like, a lot of people who they become a manager and the title manager goes merits a ton of power.
Yes.
With that power, they act like they rule the world and they're nobody. You really aren't doing much. And I think that the important thing is creating an environment where people feel comfortable talking to you about what it is that they're experiencing.
Yes, but that too okay, so my staff, I think when I was on the call maybe a few weeks ago, like my staff, one of my staff members invited me over for wine and s'mores, right? So I went, like this is my direct reports, they want me to come hang out with them, eat tacos, have wine and s'mores. I'm gonna go, right? But my coworkers, so managers, it's like, wow, you really went to his house? Yeah, why not? He invited me over to hang out, chill. We didn't talk about work. We just talked about life, just moving into a new house. But then again, some of them start to become lax. And I can't. I
don't fraternize.
You can't fraternizing have that. You got to have those type of conversations with them, and you have to become an aggressor. And then like, I don't want you to get it. I don't want you to get confused or get it twisted, because I like you. You're my direct report. You do amazing work here, but then again, you are a worker for this company, that is your job, is to do work, is to provide work, to provide great service, to our clients. We're here to serve these clients, we're here to make sure that they are self-sufficient and get them back on their feet. That is your job. I'm here to support you in whatever way that I can, but I'm not your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a thin line.
That's a tough one. Like,
yeah, I don't fraternize. I think, like, for me, I'm also, I used to like to just do things for like people I work with, just off at the work environment type situation. I may stop for a drink after work, but I will have one. I'm dipping the hell off. Like, I'm not going to be shutting down the bar with you, or nothing like that. Now, too risky.
It is risky. It is. It is very risky,
especially when the spirits be flowing.
Oh, well, Siobhan, it is after 7:00. Do you have to leave for your date?
I got to scurry. I do have a date this evening. So,
make sure you wear your mask.
Yes,
I do. I wear my mask.
So how do you do? So do you just gaze into his eyes, or
Well, like we go out to dinner or something, like it's you can take your mask off at the table, but I don't wear a mask at the table, but like walking through to get to our seating, like I've been going to restaurants that provide outdoor seating, and like last night I was at Chapman and Kirby on a date actually, and we were outside, like we were at a table on our own, and then there was another couple who asked, because we had gotten like a huge booth that was like just by ourselves. It was a whole section. It was open, it was outdoors, and we wanted our space, and they were like, hey, can we sit down at this end? And we were like, fine. But then it turned out like the guy was a cigar connoisseur, and the guy I was out with was a cigar connoisseur, and they started talking, and he's on a date, and I was like, well, you guys should just exchange information. And then he's like, oh, where are you guys going after this? We should go too. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh Lord, he had jumped on your date.
I'm like, I'm tired.
Y'all a throuple.
So that was the end of that day.
People miss
the night, but we had a great time before that. But in any case, I try to go places where we're generally in an open environment, or there's enough space or places that are taking limited reservations, because some places here in Houston are like, nope, come one, come all. Bring your mama, daddy, grandma, cat, dog, whatever. Bring them all. And
bring the Rona too.
Yes, I don't want all of that. So this isn't that situation. So we're gonna go grab dinner, and I was trying to get on earlier, and we had some connection issues because I kept saying hello, and I couldn't hear any of you. And I tried to go again, and it just wasn't happening. So I was like, okay, let me try the email and get on. But yeah, we're meeting for dinner. I'm coming back from a birthday brunch so far. But yeah, it's been a good day so far. So far, so good.
Yes, sounds
Well,
very
enjoy
productive.
yourself.
Have
Very
fun.
productive.
Tell us what you
Enjoy.
got
Happy
next week.
birthday
Last
again.
episode.
Yes, season finale. Yeah, I will do that.
I'm going to share, while she's leaving, you guys, I'm going to share one story about when I was an Uber driver in a past life. So me being an Uber driver in a past life, I picked up a woman from like the walk of shame the next morning. Like she was, oh man, she had I picked her up. You guys know that walk where you got the sunglasses in the middle of the day, you got on yesterday's clothes, hair messed up, just a complete walk of shame. So she gets in the car. I'm like, hey, how you doing? She's like, oh my God, it feels so awful. I'm so embarrassed. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I just left the office party. I just made a total ass of myself. She's like, my boss had to drive me home, and now I got to go get my car from the job, and they're still there. And I thought I was going to make it this morning, but I was just too hungover. Like, she just felt real, real bad. So I told her, like, girl, bye. Everybody made an ass of themselves at some point, so don't worry about it, you know? And I just try to cheer her up because, hey, we've all had those days. At least I have in my heyday. Mm-hmm. So never at a work party, though. I had a little more sense than that, but I wasn't going to tell her that. But I just, I just remember, see, this is actually, I guess it's not a good example because it was an office party. So this wasn't really fraternizing, but she was just really humiliated. And then, so when we went to go pick up her car, tell me why her boss and everybody was out on a lunch break, walking to the car. So, yeah, she's like, oh, no, that's him over there. I'm like, don't worry about it, girl. So I hit some blocks for her, and we just waited until they left. And then I drove over to her car. She told me, thanks or whatever. And I just, wished her well on her way. But we can't be judging each other for one little hiccup, can we?
No. I guess you just got to know your limitations, man. When you're at like those work parties, 3, 4, chill out, have a conversation.
Let bill and accounting turn up a bit.
If you're at a work party, I would think that
Are you serious? I thought you were going.
Exactly. I'm
like,
and she said, I guess we the date. We the date.
You were gone.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, if we're at a work party, let's exercise a little bit more caution, because that Tamika and them and Bob and them gonna be wanting to have conversations about, oh, hey, Tashi, you got really wild at the Christmas party at the printer or at the coffee, when y'all are trying to get your daily fill-ups, that everybody's sniggling and giggling about what you did. It's just like, you know what? These people are your work colleagues. They are not your friends. Mm-hmm. And if there's any bit of advice, I'm like, you can be cordial. You can have a good relationship with your coworkers, but don't ever make the mistake of believing that they're your all-out, full-out friends.
Right.
Don't
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, can't be caught slipping. As DJ Khaled say, don't play yourself.
Right.
Word to the wise.
Right.
Well, yeah. That's funny, Shabana. We thought you was gone.
Nah, I was here. I was trying to get on. I was trying to get with y'all. I was like, nope, we only got 2 episodes left. I'm in here, baby. I'm here. I had my day drinking, mimosa buzz and everything. Like, I was all ready. I'm like, girl, I got stories and everything. But I'm like, you know what? I guess it wasn't meant. We just got to share those for next week for the season finale. And I'll fill you.
We'll let you kick it off.
I'll fill y'all in. And I have actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll kick it off. And I have questions for you too, because I've now had several dates with 2 men now. And actually, one of them is who I'm going to meet for dinner, and they're real grown men about stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see. Like,
well, if they have friends, let me know. Don't forget about your single friend that also.
Never forget. Never leave a soldier behind.
Well, have fun.
I will. But yeah, I'll be back next weekend for the follow up, our season finale. We won't miss that. So yeah, this will be a good time. But yeah, I look forward to sharing with y'all and filling y'all in on all the gaps and letting y'all know what's been going on with things and telling y'all about my birthday month and how I've been celebrating and popping off the start of splits and sips and splits before that gets popping too. Because we might be on lockdown, so I was like, y'all gonna need sips and splits more than ever. So I was like, yeah, you might as well get you ready for summer. I'm gonna get y'all ready.
I'm ready. I need to do this. Does this? I'm stretching right now as we talk.
I hear it. I hear you.
Oh man. Well, while she's going on her date, I do like to ask everyone, how was you heard about her week? She partying all week. How was everybody else's week? How was your week, Tony?
It was really good. It had some. It went by fast. Went by real fast. Here we are now, Monday, back at it.
Yeah, that's good. Well, how about you, Tracy? How was your week?
It was a week, nothing big, same old, trying to get stuff accomplished. I gotta give a shout out, even though I know she's not listening, but to my neighbor. She has been really hooking me up lately. She gave me some new colors to add to the mix. She gave me some gel polishes, so she's been looking out for me. So I got to play in them and see some additional colors exciting. That I have. But nothing really, just trying to do stuff for the business and get everything.
Tracy, I'm gonna send you a picture of this no chip manicure that I got because the nail tech. I changed the shape of my nails because I usually go square. So these are my natural nails with a no chip polish on top. But I'm gonna send it to you, and I want you to tell me what you think of them because when I first saw them, I was like, ooh, and then I saw the left hand, and I was like, you bitch. But I'm gonna send it to you and get your professional opinion. I won't say anything about what's going on with them, but I just want you to tell me and be like, I know.
I kind of have an idea already.
No, they're they're almond shaped now. Yeah. Yes.
I like that almond. Shape. That's my favorite.
You know what? So before I was like, when I had gotten a no chip a few weeks ago, I usually like to wear them square, but my nails were growing out really long. Mm-hmm. And she was like, no. If you don't round them, they're going to keep breaking. And I was like, okay, I'll go with that. So I let her round them. And I was like, ooh, I actually like this. So they're more oval shaped. But then this one was like, I'm going to go ahead and make them all almond for you. And I was like, okay. So they were looking real vampy. And I'm like, my nails were growing out long. So I'm like, ooh, they're just like kitten claws right now. And they're red right now, too. So I'm just like, ooh, baby, okay. But then I saw the left hand, and I was just like, so I'm going to send you, Tracy, and we can have a talk about it next week. About what happened with this hand, so we can discuss that. But yeah, I'm gonna send them to you because we're connected on Instagram now. But I'm gonna send them to you.
What about you, Damo? How was your week?
Real chilled. I was kind of lazy yesterday. I was lazy for sure yesterday, just watching Hulu. And today we actually kind of like deep cleaned the house and then ordered pizza. So really nice. Lazy weekend.
Oh, that's nice. I don't think I did much either this weekend. Nothing too much. Just nothing really I can report. But yeah, that's that. Well, does anybody want to talk about say anything that they're grateful for? Any we had one shout. Anybody else want to shout anything else out?
I'm grateful for another year of life. A very interesting year here in Houston, but another year nonetheless. And my health and being strong and much more patient than I was. And I realized this yesterday. that patience is something I've really been practicing and trying to be more mindful of. And it's certainly something that is working to my credit. So I'm very thankful for that. So yeah, that's the big thing. Having another year and growing and seeing the ways in which I've grown in this past year.
I agree with that. Ditto. I've been definitely trying to get my life together. So I am grateful for health for sure. And I am grateful that there's more love than hate in this world.
Yes.
That's what I'm grateful for. What Sade say? She a soldier of love. That's right.
Hey man, speaking of Sade, I was on Facebook and I felt really stupid because I didn't know Sade was the name of her band. I thought that was her name.
Yes!
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
really?
found that out too. I was watching something. Yeah.
Years. Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that she had a transgendered daughter.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, she has a transgendered daughter. Yeah. She's very interesting. And you know, like she legit like only, and a fun fact about her, they had asked her to sing for the band and they went on several auditions but they always wanted to sign her solo. Mm-hmm. And she refused because it wasn't even really her idea to be part of the band. It was like a group of guys like, yo, we need a singer. You can sing. She's like, yeah, I'll help you out. And then, like, they go on to interview all these places and they kept trying to just take her solo. And then finally they found somebody that would just take the whole band. And they just work like that. And she takes years off because she says she has a personal life. Like singing is not like her number one thing. She fell into singing. And, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I saw an interview on her. That's why I know these random facts.
That's cool.
She's very interesting.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like her. Sade's one of my favorites. I like her, and everyone knows I love Kim. Woo! Kim is... Yeah. Share my life, baby.
Hit me with some lyrics, Tashi. Drop me some.
Oh, I love it, man.
I can't stop loving you.
Look, reason why I wish I couldn't really tell. My last boyfriend, everyone knows that he was Caucasian, and it was my birthday, and Kim was in town for Chicago, and I really wanted to see him. And my boyfriend listened to some of the music. He was like, "Oh hell no, I ain't doing that shit." But see, if I was somebody of color, I think I would have had a different response. They would have been like, "Zoo wop," and took me. So I remember that.
Facts. Well, y'all, we have to jump off because I'm over my time here, and I'm going. The restaurant we're going to for dinner is just up the street, but y'all know I stay running late, so let me go ahead and hop off of here. So
You've been telling me about for 45 minutes. Go on and get.
Y'all have a good night. I love y'all. Happy Sunday to everybody listening, and y'all be blessed. Bye.
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 All right, y'all. I mean, is there anything else that we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, that's it.
I think that was. Yeah. Tony, is Tony here?
Oh, he's still on. Yeah.
It say he on there.
I don't know, y'all. This has been a very interesting way to end the show, but it's never dull, right? This is season 1, episode 9. Next week will be our season finale, and so it'll definitely be more fun and not so serious. Next week we gotta keep everyone upbeat and positive because this is the Positive Vibe Enthusiast, and I want to wish everybody listening a very awesome week ahead. And thank you guys for showing up tonight and showing out. Had a good time. Great way to kick off the show, Dominique. That was a good question for sure. And yeah, I'll see you guys all next week. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.